Skip the vinyasas if you need to. Child's pose is always there. And modifications as well. If you are struggling with wrists and things, then you can always do dolphin instead of downward facing dog. I know it's harder, but it'll make you stronger. And take a break and skip the vinyasas as well. Okay, so still somebody struggling to get in. So let me just give it a moment. And I assume that is Lizzie or Sheila. One of you. Okay, maybe their internet isn't working. Okay, so I'll keep an eye and make sure they get in, but we will come to sitting cross-leg. So just taking a block or a blanket to sit on to start, if it helps. And then just taking your flesh away from your sit bones. And beginning to, okay, you're in. Oh, we know she's disappeared. I'll have to keep checking. Okay, so taking the flesh away from your sit bones and then just letting go of the weight of your pelvis. Start to feel really heavy in the sit bones and then lift your spine up. Begin to let the shoulders relax down away from your ears. Relax your facial muscles. All of the little muscles around your eyes and around your mouth relax. And then let your awareness settle to your inhales and your exhales. And then if you're comfortable to come straight into the Ujjayi breath, then do that. Because it just helps us to control the lengthening and deepening. And then we can start to try to make the inhales and exhales even. So you could breathe in for maybe a count of 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. And then breathing out for the same count. Make sure that your abdomen is relaxed. And you can start to find space beneath your ribs, into your abdomen, right down to the pelvic floor. And into the back ribs as well. Upper back. Upper chest beneath your collarbones. Wherever there's space, find it and breathe into it. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll just blink the eyes open. And then inhale, take the arms out, around and up as wide as you can. Bring the palms together up above your head, gaze up. And then exhale, hands down through heart center. Just do that another 2 times. Inhale, big circle as wide as you can. Start to wake up the shoulders. Palms together above your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. And then again, inhale, big circle as wide as you can. Really stretch. And then this time, keep the palms about shoulder width apart and then really lift up through the fingertips. Start to wake up the shoulders, lift yourself up out of your pelvis. Big inhale there, and then as we exhale, we'll release the fingertips down to the shoulders. Keep the elbows coming straight out from the shoulders, and then inhale, bring the elbows forward and up, and then exhale down and back and round. So a couple more of these. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, down and back and round. And we're just starting to get as much movement as we can into the shoulders. Inhale, forward and up, and then exhale, down and back and round. One more time. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, down and back and round. Okay, stopping where your elbows are coming straight out from the shoulders, and then very gently bringing the backs of the hands towards each other behind your head. And then at the same time, starting to think about drawing the shoulders down, gently pressing the hands together. Take another breath, and then release. Okay, you might just want to gently roll the shoulders. Come onto your fingertips in front of you. Inhale to lift the chest. And then exhale, just easing your way forward to your degree. We'll start to warm up a little bit into the hips. So once you've come forward to as far as you're comfortable to come forward, then start to relax the elbows, the shoulders. Try and stay heavy in your sit bones. And then you might find you can ease a little bit further forward, but just take it gently and start to move if that feels nice. So sometimes just a little bit of swaying around, moving. Finding those little tight areas. Make sure that you're nice and soft around the base of the neck, and then we'll take the hands as far to the right as we can. Again, staying heavy in the sit bones. Start to reach your way through the left fingertips, get some length on the left-hand side of the body. Again, head and neck relaxed, elbows relaxed, heavy in the sit bones. Inhale to come back through center, and then exhale as far to the left as you can, and then a little bit further with the right fingertips. So you start to get that lengthening on the right hand side of the body. Shoulders are relaxed. Okay, inhale to come back to center. We'll walk the hands back in, lean back, switch the cross of the legs, go hands free with that if you can. And then onto your fingertips in front of you, inhale to lift the chest. And then exhale, easing your way forward again to your degree. And it might be much more intense on this side. It's probably your side that you're not used to crossing the shin in front. So just take it really gently. Make sure that the shoulders are relaxed, elbows are relaxed. And we're thinking about the chest lengthening forward always. So we're not just curling into the back. Again, a little bit of movement there. A little bit of swaying even can be nice. You can start to just stretch and wake up into the side body. And then exploration with the hands to the left, taking those right fingertips a little bit further, staying heavy in the sit bones, feel that lengthening on the right hand side of the body. And then inhale to center, a little bit of exploration over to the right. So look, if you can, take the left fingertips a bit further, start to really find some length there. Keep the head and neck really relaxed. And then inhaling to come back to center, and then walking the hands in. Okay, we'll come down onto our back. So coming down in a nice controlled way, no sign of other person that's disappeared, unfortunately. Come down, bring your knees into your chest. A little bit of side to side movement with the knees. Again, just warming up into your back, finding those stiff areas. You might well feel that quite intensely in your hips as well. So just try and stay as relaxed as you can. Okay, from there, release the left foot down and stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh, or you might take them behind the shin. You might even feel like you want to take first your fingers around your big toe here, so up to you. But wherever you are, find enough resistance here to start to feel a stretch. And you can start to move the foot, you can point and flex, you can draw circles. You might stretch the left leg away, that might feel too intense, and you might come straight back. It's completely up to you. You can stay down here exploring this stretch, or you can inhale, bring the head and shoulders up and have a little look at the knee. Keep the shoulders really relaxed. Try to keep the navel drawing in and the low back pressing down. Maybe you'll come up a little bit higher. You can still be pointing and flexing the foot while you're there. Taking another breath and then release head and shoulders down. We'll bend the right knee. Right hand comes to the knee, left arm out to the side. Inhale, exhale, just bring that right knee as far over to the right as you can so that you really open out across the groin. And you could even go for the straight leg version if you wanted to there. I should have said that. I think most of us can do that now. Okay, inhale to come back to center. Switch with the hands, tuck the toes behind the left thigh, and then bring that knee over to the left. And just coming into as deep a spinal twist as feels appropriate for you this morning. And then inhale to come back to center. Right foot comes down and we'll stretch the left leg up. So interlacing behind the thigh or calf, or maybe you take first your fingers around the big toe. It's up to you. Just make this stretch as intense or not as you want it to be. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Maybe you point and flex. You start to move into that ankle. You might stretch the right leg away, you might not. Again, it's going to see how you're feeling this morning. And then you might bring the head and shoulders up as well, keeping the shoulders relaxed, trying to get the shoulder blades up off the mat. Navel is drawing in, low back presses down, and you can stay with the movement with the foot maybe. Maybe you can come up a little bit higher. Taking another breath and then release. You can either keep the leg straight actually if you want to, or bend the knee, left hand to the knee, right arm out to the side. Inhale, exhale, take that left knee over. Remember when we do this, that we don't want the pelvis to roll. So try to stay heavy in the back of that right hip. Right leg is active. You're opening across the front of the groin as much as you can. And then inhale back to center. Switch with the hands, tuck the toes behind right thigh, and then coming into a deeper twist as feels appropriate. Trying to stay heavy in the back of the left shoulder. And then on the next inhale, come back to center. Bring the knees in, give yourself a little squeeze, and then release to that 90 degrees angle between your thighs and your abdomen and behind your knees as well. This is a little favourite of mine because it really helps us to wake up the obliques in the side body. Take your arms straight out from the elbows, draw the navel in, ground the low back down, squeeze the inner knees and thighs together. Inhale and then exhale, take everything over to the right, about halfway if you can. But if that's too much for your back or too much first thing, then just as far as you comfortably can. Stay heavy in the back of the left shoulder. Keep squeezing the inner thighs and the knees together. Maybe you can start to think about your navel turning a little bit to the left. And then you might straighten out one leg or both legs. You might think that's way too much too soon, so you don't do either, doesn't matter. Remember to watch your breath here. You need to be able to still be breathing evenly. You could talk maybe, talk to yourself, your dog. Okay, and then we'll inhale, come back to center, reset. So navel in, everything squeezes back together, keep those right angles, and then exhale over to the left, just about halfway or as close to that as is comfortable. Make sure you can stay heavy in the back of the right shoulder. Keep squeezing the legs together. The navel begins to turn a little bit to the right as well. And then maybe one leg straightens, maybe both do, maybe neither do. It doesn't matter. Just feel that what's happening in your body. It's really quite strong for our obliques, this. And we're all getting stronger, so it's not a problem. Okay, on the next inhale, come back, rebending the knees, come back to center, reset, and then exhale back over to the right, maybe a little bit further, maybe not. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, keep grounding down through the back of the left shoulder. Maybe the legs straighten, maybe they don't. And I actually remember when I first started doing this, not that long ago, we started doing this in our practice. I really struggled straightening the legs for any length of time, and it's getting much easier. So hopefully it is for all of us. Okay, on the next inhale, come back to center, reset. And then exhale over to the left again. Keep squeezing everything together, straightening the legs maybe, grounding down through the back of the right shoulder. Think about the navel turning to the right. Watch your breath. So if you find that your breath starts to get tricky, then you need to ease off. Nice and even Ujjayi breath if we can. Okay, on the next inhale, coming back to center, we'll take the hands behind the thighs. We'll start to rock back and forward. And then just get yourself enough momentum to come all the way up, crossing the legs, and then find your way over to all fours. And then as soon as you get to your all fours, coming into cat-cow, so inhale, tummy drops down, chin lifts, sit bones tilt, and then exhale, navel draws up, tailbone tucks and chin tucks. And then inhale, come forward, and exhale to come back. Beginning to soften into the elbows if you want to, beginning to freestyle it if you want to. Again, it's your practice, so just moving in whatever way your body feels that it needs to. Sometimes that's swaying into the hips, and maybe after last night, the twisting, you feel you need to stretch into the side body a little bit. You might be feeling it there. So move in whatever way feels nice. Okay, we'll find our way back to neutral. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, and come into downward facing dog. And remember, you can always have the knees down. So if we do have injuries, please be kind to yourself. Okay, on the next inhale, take the right leg up, and then as we exhale, we'll step it forward. And then dropping the left knee, untucking the toes, inhaling for low lunge. And then as we exhale, let the hips sink forward and down. Outer right hip shaves back, the left hip presses forward. Shoulder blades down the back, ribs in. And then reaching up through the fingertips as much as you can. Inhale, as we exhale, come down onto the fingertips, tuck the toes left foot, and then transfer the weight back, half Hanumanasana. Inhale to lift and lengthen the chest forward, exhale to fold, and again inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold, and again inhale to lengthen, and then exhaling to fold. Try to keep the action of drawing the top of the right thigh bone back into the hip socket, and then from there, can you lengthen the chest forward any amount more. Keep the shoulders drawing down away from the ears. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll bring the right foot back down. Left hand comes down on the inside of the right foot, and then reach the right arm out to the side. So it's as if you're trying to make that arm as long as you possibly can. Think about the chest moving forward, so try not to collapse onto the right thigh there. Reach out through the right fingertips, make as much space as you can there. You can stay with that position if you want to, or you can bring the arm up and come into a twist, and then really reach up the right fingertips. Inhale, reach up a little bit higher, and then as we exhale, we're going to bring this right arm under the right thigh, and then bring the chin to the chest and kind of curl the spine, a little bit of a sort of cat pose, and then inhale, open up, back to the twist. Exhale, tuck it under, curl, chin to the chest. Inhale, open up as high as you can. Exhale, tuck under and curl. Inhale to open up. And then exhale, release the hands down. We'll tuck the toes, left foot, lift the knee, and then find our way back into downward facing dog. And if you need to move in your downward facing dog, then move. Okay, on the next inhale, take the left leg up, and then exhale, step it forward. Dropping the right knee, untucking the toes, and then inhaling for low lunge. Exhale, hips forward and down, outer left hip back, right hip is pressing forward, shoulder blades down, ribs in, all of that stuff. Fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. Inhale. As we exhale, down onto the fingertips, tucking the toes, transferring the weight back for our half Hanumanasana. Inhale to lengthen the chest forward, exhale, fold. And again, inhale to lengthen, exhaling to fold. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to fold. Holding the stretch just for a few breaths. Try to draw the top of the left thigh bone back into the hip socket, and any amount more, lengthen forward with the chest. So we're not just curving our back here. We're trying to find that lovely length on the front of the torso all the time, as intense as it is in the back of that leg. Okay, on the next inhale, pressing the left foot back down. Right hand comes down on the inside of the left foot. Reach the left arm out to the side to start with. Think about the chest lifting and moving forward. Try to make that left arm as long as you possibly can. Stay there, or inhale to open up fully for a twist. Fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, tucking the left arm under the left thigh, chin to the chest, squeeze, rounding into the upper back. Inhale to open up. Exhale, tuck under, squeeze. Inhale to open up. Exhale, tuck under, squeeze. Chin to the chest, widen between the shoulder blades. Inhale to open up. And then as we exhale, bring the hands down, find your way back into downward facing dog, and then moving there in any way that you want to, of course. So bending into the knees or pedaling, just whatever movement you feel that you need to take as you start to warm up a little bit more into your body. Try to be relaxed around the base of the neck. Start to think about the triceps spinning back, biceps spinning forward. Notice how that makes space in the upper back, and then you can send the breath there. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll take the right leg up, and then as we exhale, we'll step it forward. So this time we're going to come for a crescent lunge. So make sure that you're not on a tightrope, and then inhale, wobble your way up for crescent, and then sink deeply into the front knee, outer right hip back, left hip forward. Extra weight into the front foot to help you energize back through the left heel, and then sink deeper in your crescent lunge. Okay, so we're going to go through a little sequence here, and as always, I like to hang out a little bit first time round, just so that we start to really warm up into the body and we start to feel the pose. So can you come deeper? Think about the top of the right thigh bone drawing back into the hip socket, heavy in the tailbone, lengthening the sides of the waist, the sides of the ribs. Think about that line all the way up the front of the torso, pubic bone, navel, collarbones lift and lengthen. Can you get your fingertips up a little bit higher? Maybe you turn your gaze up a little bit higher. Maybe you sink deeper as well. Keep drawing that outer right hip back of the left thigh, keep staying soft into that left knee if you need to. And coming deeper, starting to definitely warm up the right thigh, coming deeper if we can, and still a little bit deeper if we can. Okay, from here, taking an inhale. As we exhale, we'll open warrior two to the left. So turning the left foot out, adjusting the feet. Maybe coming wider, make sure that the front knee opens out, your inner left thigh is lifting up towards the ceiling, and you're really heavy in the tailbone as well in your warrior two. Can you press the shoulder blades into the upper back and widen? Make sure that you're not doing that leaning forward thing. So torso is completely upright, and then you sink deeper. Same action here with the top of the thigh bone drawing back into the hip socket. And we're still thinking about that lifting up with the inner left thigh. So both legs really are working as hard as each other. We're not just bending the front knee and coming into that shape. Keep lifting the chest as well. Can you maintain that nice fluidity with the breath? You can imagine that you're even breathing beyond the ribs here. So expand. Nice, deep, wide breaths. A little bit longer here. Maybe you can come deeper. Maybe you can get the hamstring engagement a little bit more on the back of the right thigh as well. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll straighten into the front leg, we'll turn to our left and then find our horse pose. So haven't done this that much lately, well, maybe for about a week. So we're going to feel it, no doubt. Take the hands to the knees, make sure that they're pointing out over the knees, and make sure that you're not too wide here as well. Actually, if you're wide, it's hard to keep the knees tracking up over the toes, so you might adjust the position of your feet. You use the hands to guide the knees open, and then make sure you're upright so the shoulders are as over the hips as you can, and you come deeper and you start to squeeze the inner hips in here, outer hips even, to find length through the spine. Keep the chest lifted. Maybe the arms come out shoulder height, maybe you turn the palms up. You start to reach away through the fingertips, you come deeper, but you're still squeezing those inner outer hips even in as well. Okay, from here, we'll release the right hand to the right thigh. You now reach up through the left fingertips, and then as we exhale, a little side bend over to the right. Keep opening the knees out. Reach through the left fingertips. You could, if you want to, come deeper and use the back of the right forearm to keep encouraging the front knee open. And then inhale to come back up to our horse stance, straightening into the legs, turning the right foot in, left foot to the back of the mat, and then we'll come straight into a side angle pose. So if you reach the right arm up and then turn the palm to the back of the room and then reach the arm up and over. Make sure the front knee is opening out. Inner right thigh is lifting now. And you're turning your chest as much as you can. It's an open face twist, isn't it? Our side angle pose. There's that tendency to have the chest facing down, so make sure that you're turning the chest as much as you can, and try not to collapse into that left elbow as well. And the legs are definitely burning now, I reckon. Okay, looking down to the left foot, inhale, pressing in to come to a warrior two, and then sinking deeply into the warrior two. All of the same things here. Inner right thigh lifts, front knee opens out. Can you draw the top of the left thigh bone back into the hip socket and come deeper? And make sure you're not leaning back and come deeper. Okay, awkward little bit of a transition here. We pivot to the ball of the back foot and find crescent lunge. So you might need to adjust the feet a little bit, maybe narrower, come wider, whatever you need to do. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. Remember, extra weight into the front foot, softening to the back knee to tilt the pelvis forward, and then energizing back through the right heel, ribs in, shoulders down. Okay, inhale here. As we exhale, hands to heart center. Another big inhale, and then exhale to twist. So right elbow to the outside of the left knee, press the palms together, and then come into a twist. Think about really opening the left shoulder. Thumbs are working towards being in the heart center. Keep lifting the back of the right thigh as well. Keep breathing, Ujjayi breath. If we can, keep breathing. Still got to go all the way back to the other side. Inhaling to find length, exhaling to twist. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll wobble our way back up to crescent and then sink deeper into our present. Big inhale there. And then as we exhale, hands come down, stepping it back. You can go straight to your downward facing dog, or you can come through a vinyasa, up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up, and then exhale to step it forward. Check you're not on a tightrope, wobble your way up, crescent. And then sink into your crescent. Outer left hip shaves back, right hip forward, come deeper. Okay, so I know that the left thigh is already feeling it a little bit this morning, but try to stay with your breath. Find that length at the front of the body, lift and lengthen. Find the engagement as well, top of the left thigh bone back into the hip socket. Energize back through the right heel, heavy in the tailbone. Maybe you turn your gaze up now, maybe not, up to you. Okay, take another breath here in crescent, and then as we exhale, warrior two to the right, so adjusting the feet. If we need to, coming wider, all of those checks. We haven't started to lean forward, we're heavy in the tailbone, shoulders are drawing down away from the ears, shoulder blades press into the upper back, and you come deeper. Inner right thigh lifts. It's always Good to think about that imaginary belt pulling the thigh, so both legs are working equally hard. Okay, inhaling to straighten into the front leg. We'll find our horse to the right. So again, adjust the width of the feet if you need to. Bring the hands to the knees to help you to open them out over the toes, and then sink into your hips. But outer hips squeeze in. Maybe the arms come out to shoulder height. Maybe you turn the palms up. So I like that turning the palms up because it really helps you to press the shoulder blades into the upper back. As you sink deeper, keep checking you don't let the knees, start to collapse forward. Okay, from here, releasing the left hand down to the thigh. Inhale, reach the right arm up, and then exhale, little side bend over to the left. You can let that left arm come down, maybe use the back of the forearm to keep encouraging the knee open. Maybe you turn your gaze up as well. Inhaling to come back up, and then straightening into the legs. Left foot turns in, right foot to the front of the mat, and then find your side angle pose. So again, try not to lean into that elbow too much. Think about inner left thigh lifting, front knee opening out. Maybe you turn your chest a little bit more. Can you find length on the right hand side of the body? So we don't want to shrink there, remember, find length. Okay, looking down to your right foot, inhale, press in, come to warrior two, and then exhaling to sink deeper into warrior two. From here, we convert to crescent lunge. So a bit of an awkward transition. Adjust your feet if you need to, and then wobble, wobble your way back to your crescent lunge. And then it kind of feels not so bad now on the right leg because we're giving the left leg a bit of a break. Ribs in, tailbone is heavy, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale there, exhale for a twist. So left elbow to the outside of the right knee, pressing the palms together. Try to really open the right shoulder. Thumbs towards the center of the chest, back of the left thigh lifts. Still maintaining that nice fluidity with the breath. Inhaling to find length, exhaling to twist. Inhaling to find length, exhaling to twist. And again, inhale to find length, and then exhale to twist. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll wobble our way back up to present. And then sink deeper into our present. Big inhale there, and then as we exhale, bring the hands down, making your way to downward facing dog however you want to. So through a vinyasa or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and then exhale back. Downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, so let your breath settle. 2, you can always come down to the forearms if you want to, or drop the knees. 3, shoulders away from the ears. 4, and 5. Okay, inhale, take the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Wobble your way up for crescent on your next inhale. And then, particularly wobbly this morning, sink deeper into that front knee. Outer right hip back, left hip forward. Try to energize back through the left heel, shoulder blades down. Find that length up the front of the body and lift and lengthen even more. Maybe you're feeling balanced enough to turn the gaze up now, or maybe not. Up to you. Okay, inhale, exhale, warrior two to the left, opening out, coming deeper, making sure that the front knee is opening out, you're lifting the inner left thigh, shoulder blades are moving down the back and they pin into the upper back as well. Okay, inhale, straightening into the right leg to find horse pose to your left. So adjusting the position of the feet, guiding the knees out over the toes, shoulders over the hips, and then maybe the arms come out and you turn the palms up and then really reach through the fingertips. Remember to squeeze the outer hips in here as well. Okay, right hand releases to right thigh. Inhale, reach up through the left fingertips and then little side bend over to the right. Turning your chest there as well. Maybe you use the back of the right forearm to keep encouraging the knee open. Inhaling to come back up to a horse stance and then straightening into the legs. Right foot turns in, left foot to the back of the room and then elbow to knee and the right arm over for side angle pose. Make it a deeper side angle if you want to. Just make sure you're not collapsing into that left elbow. Turn the chest, inner right thigh still lifting. And you're still maintaining that lovely, smooth Ujjayi breath. Hopefully Okay, looking down to the left foot, inhale, press in to come to warrior two, and then exhaling to sink into your warrior two. From here, inhale and then exhale, wobbling your way round to crescent lunge. So adjusting the feet. I know it's not the most straightforward of all of our transitions. Take your time to get there. Ribs in, heavy in the tailbone, sink deeper. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale for the twist. So elbows to the outside of the knee, press the palms together and lift the chest here. Remember, thumbs towards the heart center, back of the right thigh lifts as well. Inhaling to find length. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, find length. Exhale, rotate. Inhale to find length and then exhale to rotate. Inhale to wobble your way back up to crescent and then sink deeper. Okay, I'm going to add on to it this time. So transfer the weight into the left foot. On the next inhale, step all the weight into the left foot and bring the right knee into the chest. Okay, from there, we'll release the arms, take the right ankle, find a tree pose first. So foot to the inner thigh. And then hands come together into heart center. Give yourself a moment to settle into your tree. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Remember that outer left hip, we don't want it to kick out, so keep squeezing it in. And maybe you can draw your your right knee a little bit further back as well and open out across the groin. Okay, from here, we're going to release the hands again, take the right ankle, bend into the left knee, flexing the right foot, place the ankle over above the left knee and come into that upright pigeon. Keep the chest lifted here. Can you sink into that left knee a little bit deeper? Maybe you can sink a little bit deeper. I was going to see if we can come all the way down, but I won't do that to us today. Maybe you come a little bit deeper. Keep lifting the chest. Keep lifting the chest as you sink into that left knee. Keep lifting the chest, come deeper. Okay, inhale, straightening into the left leg, releasing the right foot down, and then come straight into Utkatasana, so chair pose. Sit bones to the backs of the knees, ribs in. Inhale in chair, exhale for forward bend. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale to find your way back to downward facing dog, however you want to get there. So through a vinyasa or not, up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog, inhale the left leg up, exhale, step it forward. Check you're not on a tightrope, and then find crescent lunge. So make it a deep crescent lunge. Think about all of that engagement. And then the back of the right thigh lift as well, ribs in, shoulders down. Find that line at the front of the body, lift and lengthen. Inhale, exhale, warrior two to the right. Adjusting the feet again, checking the details, becomes second nature, shoulders down, shoulder blades in, gazing over the left middle finger, heavy with the tailbone, and deeper if you can. Okay, inhale, straightening into the left leg, turning to find our horse stance, so adjusting the feet, guide the knees out over the toes, be as upright as you can, squeeze the outer hips in, maybe the arms reach out, maybe you turn the palms up as well, and then reach away through the fingertips as you come deeper and deeper. Okay, from here we release the right hand to the right thigh, the left hand to the left thigh. Inhale, reach up through the right fingertips, and then exhale, little side bend to the left. Back of the left forearm can help encourage that left knee open. Keep opening the front knee out as well. Maybe you turn your gaze up. Inhaling to come back up, straightening into the legs, left foot turns in, right foot to the front of the room, and then you find your side angle pose. So again, don't collapse into the right elbow, turn the chest. Can you find more length on the right hand side of the torso? And keep that breath nice and even. Okay, looking down to your right foot, inhale, press in, come back to warrior two, and then sink more deeply into your warrior two. Transitioning from here to crescent lunge, so adjusting the back foot, doing whatever you need to find your crescent lunge. And then inhaling crescent lunge, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale for your twist. Palms together. Try to really open up the right shoulder. Back of the left thigh lifts. Thumbs towards the heart center. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist. Inhaling to find length and then exhaling to twist. Inhale, wobble your way back up to crescent. And then sink deeper into the front knee. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. On the next inhale, transfer the weight into the right foot and bring the left knee into the chest. Take hold of the left ankle, bring the foot to the inner thigh, and then find tree. Again, shoulders relaxed, trying to draw the outer right hip in. There's that tendency for it to kick out, isn't it? Don't let it. Keep the chest lifted as well. Okay, from our tree, we'll take the left ankle, start to bend into the right knee, flex the left foot, place it over above the right knee, and then we find this upright pigeon. Keep lifting the chest, shoulders relaxed. Sink deeper if you can, and deeper if you can, and still again deeper. Starting to really feel your bum on the right side. Lift the chest. Okay, inhale, pressing into the right foot to come up, releasing the left foot down, straight into chair pose, in a nice deep chair as well if you can. Shoulders down, ribs in, gazing up at the thumbs maybe. Inhale, and then exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to find your way back, downward facing dog, child's pose, or through your vinyasa. To get there, up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, so just maintaining that nice fluidity of breath in and out through the nose. 2, Ujjayi breath if you can, remember. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, on the next inhale, look forward, step, hop, float, or walk forward. And then once you're there, forward bend. Inhale, come straight up into chair pose, Utkatasana. Okay, we're staying in chair. So check the details. Make sure both knees are doing the same thing. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, ribs in. Strongly drawing the sit bones to the backs of the knees, and you come even deeper into your chair. If you can, even deeper. And again, root deeper. Try to get the hamstrings engaged in as much as you can, come deeper. Okay, inhale, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find your way back. So straight to downward facing dog or through a vinyasa, up to you. Your variation, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. We'll find warrior 1. So turn the left foot out and step the right foot forward. And then come up for warrior 1. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, and then sinking into the front knee, outer right hip shapes, back of the left thigh back, shoulder blades down, ribs in, all of that stuff. If you can bring the palms together and wrap the triceps forward, then do that as well. Maybe you can turn your gaze up now here as well, maybe, or maybe not. Okay, from here, releasing the arms behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale to push the hands away, open the chest, and then exhale, come forward for humble warrior. Try to keep all of the length on the front of the torso as you find your humble warrior. And then you press the hands away. If you wanted to, you can release the hands. So sometimes it's nicer just to bring the hands down. So do that if you want to. And then squeeze the outer right hip in. So the hips kind of want to kick off to the right. Bring them in so that the chest is lengthening forward, and you're still in the same position with your legs as for warrior 1, and then you can relax the head and neck there in your humble warrior. Just let your breath settle down. Keep thinking about pressing back into that outer left heel. Inner left thigh is lifting, outer right hip is squeezing in, but you're relaxing the head and neck completely. Okay, from here, we're going to wobble our way back up. So finding strength in the legs to come all the way back up to warrior 1, and then sink deeply into your warrior 1. Again, draw that outer right hip back, left hip forward, ribs in. All of that stuff, can you come deeper and deeper. Okay, inhaling to straighten into the front leg, squaring the hips and shoulders forward, bring the hands to the waist. Inhale to find length, and then exhale, come forward. Pyramid pose, and I know that this is challenging, so stop wherever you need to. You can have your hands on the thigh, the shin, maybe you use blocks there, maybe the fingertips come to the floor. Find a version that works for you. I used to really dislike this pose, and I'm sure some of us do, because if our hamstrings are tight, it's challenging. So come as far as you comfortably can. If that right knee needs to be a bit bent, keep it bent. And then inhale to lengthen the chest forward, exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold, inhale to lengthen, And then exhale to fold. Relax the head and neck. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Keep pressing back with the back of the left thigh. Keep the hips squaring forward. Can you lift up out of the left hip even there? That helps you to find a little bit more length forward with the chest. Okay, from here, we'll come back up. So again, if you need to soften that right knee, do. Otherwise, hands back to the waist and then inhale to come back up. From here, we'll turn all the way to the left and then turn the toes in. So coming maybe a little bit wider with the feet, about one of your leg length distance between the feet, and then toes are turning in a little bit. Hands come to the waist. Inhale to find length. And then exhale, come forward, maintaining the length. Hands can come anywhere down the legs or to the floor below the shoulders, whatever works for you. And then inhale to lift and lengthen the chest forward. Exhale to fold. And again, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold. And again, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold. And then maybe you walk the hands beneath you if that's comfortable. If you do that though, keep the elbows working in towards each other. And then eventually heels of the hands are level with the heels of the feet, but just as close to that as you comfortably can. Keep finding that length on the front of the torso. And then the inner thighs spin back. You widen between your sit bones, you find space and you move into it. Shoulders away from the ears, weight more to the balls of the feet if you can. Let go of the weight of the head and neck. You might even just gently nod your head yes and shake it no. Okay, from here, inhale to lift the head. On the exhale, bring the hands back to the waist, and then inhale, find Uddiyana Bandha to come all the way back up. And then exhale. Okay, from here, turning back to the front of the mat and adjusting your feet, maybe coming a little bit narrower with the feet. Back foot is on a nice gentle angle. Similar position to pyramid pose. Hips are squaring forward. But this time we're going to take the right arm behind the back. Inhale, take the left arm up, find length. And then as we exhale, come forward, maintaining that length. Revolve triangle. As soon as you need to stop, left hand anywhere down right shin, or to a block, or to the floor on the little toe side of the foot. Bring your right hand to your low back. Check that you're level there. Maybe you lift up out of the left hip. Maybe the right hip draws back a little bit. You can keep the right hand there, or you can inhale and take the right arm up to find the full variation of one of the more challenging standing poses. Remember to keep lifting up through the right fingertips, turning your chest, opening the right shoulder. Try to maintain that nice evenness with the breath as well there. And adjust it if you need to. So if you need to soften the knees, soften the knees. Okay, taking another breath and then releasing that right arm down. Coming back into pyramid pose for a moment, just folding over the right leg. Think about lengthening forward with the chest. And then from here, we'll start to soften into the right knee. Maybe take that left foot a little bit further back and find a runner's lunge pose. Think about the chest forward, shoulders away from the ears. Hips are moving down, back of the left thigh lifts. Inhale, and then as we exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. You could come through plank, vinyasa, or straight to downward facing dog. It's completely up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. The right foot turns and the left foot steps. So we're finding warrior one first. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, and then sinking into the front knee, squaring the hips and shoulders as much as you comfortably can. Heavy in the tailbone, ribs in. All of those little adjustments that take you a couple of moments when you first get into the pose to find all those little adjustments. Think about that outer left hip drawing back, right hip forward, as heavy in the tailbone as you can. Much stronger into the hip flexors, isn't it, than we would think perhaps. And then maybe the palms come together, maybe you wrap the triceps forward, maybe you turn your gaze up as well. Okay, inhaling, exhaling to release the hands. So again, your version of humble warrior. You can cheat in this one if you want to. Inhale to open the chest, and then exhale, come forward on the inside of the left thigh, or you can lean onto the thigh. Press the hands away. You might release the hands. Bring them both down on the inside of the left leg. Squeeze the outer left hip in. Inner right thigh lifts. Relax your head and neck. So it's different. Say relax as much as you do pose in the world, is it? Relax your head and neck. Another one I used to avoid, actually, this. And then those ones that we avoid the most are probably the ones we need the most, as they say. Okay, so to come up from here, we need to be really strong with the legs. Press into the feet, come up. back to warrior one, and then sinking into the front knee, square the hips and shoulders, straighten into the front leg, turn yourself forward, release the hands to the waist. Remember, for pyramid pose, adjust it if you need to. The front knee can soften. Inhale to lift the chest, and then exhale, come forward over the left leg. Stop wherever you need to. Hands down the thigh, the shin. Maybe you use blocks or come to the floor, and then inhale to lengthen the chest forward. Exhale, fold. It might be easier this side, it might be harder. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. And again, inhale to lengthen. Exhaling to fold. And then relax the head and neck. Lift the back of the right thigh up. Can you lift up out of the right hip? That helps you to find even more length with the chest, doesn't it? But relax the head and neck. Okay, so coming up from here is quite a challenge, isn't it? Strong in the legs. Bring the hands to the waist if you can, and then inhale. Come all the way back up. And then from here, we'll try and remember my order now. Come back into your warrior one briefly. And then straightening into the front leg, turning round to your right, adjusting the position of your feet so you're about a leg length distance apart. Turn the toes in, bring the hands to the waist. Inhale to find length, and then exhale to come forward, forward bend. Your version again, hands could be down the legs. You can bring the hands down below the shoulders, wherever feels appropriate. And then inhale to lift and lengthen the chest forward, exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to fold. And again, inhaling to lengthen, and then exhale to fold, and come as deeply into the pose as feels appropriate for you. Inner thighs spin back. Notice what a difference that makes. You get more space, you can move into it, but maintain all of that length on the front of the torso. Totally relax your head and neck, kneecaps lift, weights in the balls of the feet, and you maybe nod your head gently, yes. You can shake it, no. And then from here, inhaling to lift the head. On the exhale, bring the hands to the waist. And then inhale, Uddiyana Bandha brings you all the way up. And then exhale. Okay, turning the left foot forward. And then the right foot, maybe shortening your stance a little bit here as we set up for that revolved triangle pose. So left arm behind the back. Make sure that back foot is on a nice gentle angle. Bring the right arm up. Inhale, find length. And then exhale, come forward, maintaining the length. Stop wherever you need to. Hand can come onto the shin, the thigh, or to the floor on the little toe side of the foot. You can use a block there as well. Outer left hip back, lift up out of the right hip. Check what's going on in the low back. Leave the left hand there, or inhale, left arm up. Triangle. Revolve triangle. Another one that I used to really struggle with. Try and stay strong in the back leg. Keep lifting up out of that right hip. Fingertips reach up towards the ceiling as well. Finding length with the inhales out through the crown of the head, and then moving deeper into the pose on the exhales. Okay, releasing the left hand. Just coming back into that pyramid pose for a moment. Folding over the left leg. Letting go of the weight of the head and neck, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And then from here, we'll start to bend into the left leg, adjust so that your right foot comes a little bit further back, and you find runner's lunge. Let the hips sink down, chest lengthens forward, back of the right thigh lifts. It's a really lovely stretch for the hip flexors. Okay, taking a breath, and then hands come down, finding your way back to downward facing dog, however you want to, through a vinyasa or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhaling back, downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, so calm your breath straight away. 2, draw the shoulder blades up your back. 3, can you maintain that breath in and out through the nose? 4, and 5. Okay, inhale to look forward, step, hop, float, or walk forward. And then once you're there, forward bend. Inhaling to come up, bringing the hands to touch, and then exhale. Okay, little bit of balancing. I know how much we love our balancing, and it's nice to feel the progression really, because it gets easier, doesn't it, relatively quickly. Okay, so come to mountain pose. Tune into your feet. Let everything settle down. Relax the shoulders. Try to be so tuned into your feet that you feel the texture of your mat, and you can just lift and spread the toes and wiggle them around a little bit. Really tune into the feet. And then we want to spread the weight evenly, don't we? So those four corners of the feet, balls of the big toes, balls of the little toes, inner heels, outer heels. Press down through the four corners of the feet, but then lift up. It's as if you're trying to lift up out of the ankles. Shin bones move back, kneecaps lift your spine up as well. Okay, taking the weight into the left foot and then drawing the right knee into the chest. So you might want to stay with this. And I know that a lot of us are getting quite good at this now. We're getting quite familiar with it. So you stay with this though if you want to, remember. Remember to keep squeezing that outer left hip in, keeping that lifting up action going with the left leg, or you convert to first two fingers around the big toe and bring your right hand to your waist. And then you work on straightening to the leg. And even if we're not there yet, doesn't matter, you can work on it. Try and stay as upright as you can here though, as you straighten. So what tends to happen is that we tend to either buckle the standing leg, wobble, wobble. So we either tend to do that and lean back, or we tend to lean forward as we try to straighten the leg. So wherever you are, keep the standing leg strong, keep the chest lifted, and then any amount straighten. So you don't compromise the pose with your upper body or that standing leg either. Just come to as close as that as you can. Keep dropping the outer right hip down, keep squeezing the outer left hip in, left elbow draws back as well. Okay, from there, you can convert to holding the knee again if you want to, but inhale, exhale, knee or the leg out to the side, gazing over the opposite shoulder. Keep squeezing outer left hip in, outer right hip moves down. And then inhale to come back forward. You might want to let go if you've got the toe and bend the knee, and we'll take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and then twist. Draw that left knee over, right knee even over to the left and reach back with the right arm and find a twist there. Well done. You can do that straight leg version if you want to, that's really intense. I'm not doing it this morning. Okay, and then inhale to come back forward, exhale to release. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake. I know that we feel that in our glutes a lot. Okay, back to mountain pose. And then feeling the connection with your feet in the mat. That is key to our balance, that awareness, isn't it? So taking the weight into the right foot, and then the left knee comes into the chest. Stay with this for as long as you need to. You can work on having that upright chest. So we don't want to start buckling the standing leg or curving forward. Whatever version you're coming into, find it. So maybe first two fingers around the big toe, keep the chest lifted. Work towards straightening the leg, outer left hip down, right hip sucks in. Chest is lifted. This wants to happen with that leg, doesn't it? Stay strong. Keep lifting up out of the ankle. Okay, inhale, exhale, taking the knee or the leg out to the side. Again, outer left hip dropping down, right hip is drawing in. Right elbow draws back as well, chest lifted. And then inhaling to come back to center. We'll let go of the toe, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left arm reaches back, and you can start to draw that left thigh around the front of the body, reach back with the left arm, not letting that standing leg buckle. Stay strong. Shoulders relaxed as well. Okay, and then inhale to come back forward. I'm going to do that again because there's another little bit I forgot to do. Okay, so if we're getting better at this, you can start to think about left hand to your hip, reach the right arm forward, and then you think about maybe I'm going to inhale and come straight into that. Maybe not though. Outer left hip in, right hip drops down, shoulder back, keep the chest lifted, don't buckle the standing leg, inhale. Exhale, knee or the leg out to the side. Again, same thing, outer left hip in, outer right hip down. And then inhale back to center, bend the knee, left hand to the outside of the knee, right arm reaches back for the twist. And then inhale to come back forward. This time, maybe the arms come up and you reach that right leg forward. And then we're going to draw circles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Oh no, sorry, that's forward. Okay, other side. Take the weight into the right foot. Maybe you working on this variation. Again, it's something you think you'll never do, and then just one day it all happens. We kind of lay that, start to develop those neural pathways. Keep the outer right hip drawing in, outer left hip down. Don't buckle the standing leg. Chest is lifting. Inhale, exhale, knee or the leg out to the side. Keep that outer hip squeezing in, outer left hip down. Lifting up out of that right ankle as well. And I can see that I'm kicking into my right hip. I have to try and draw it in. Inhale, back to center, bending the knee, right hand to the outside, left arm back, twist. And then inhaling to come back forward, arms up, reach the left leg and then draw circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Okay, release the arms. That's really good for our hip flexors. Okay, release the arms, give your legs a little shake. How am I doing? I'm going to keep you here all day. Okay, we'll make our way down to the mat through a chair pose. If you don't like it, don't do it. So use your hands, cheat, whatever. Okay, inhale for chair. Utkatasana, shoulder blades down the back. Sit bones to the backs of the knees. Inhale, exhale, slowly come down. Snap, crackle and pop. All the way. And then briefly, half boat. Chest lifts there as well. Collarbones widen. Gently reaching forward through the fingertips. And then release your feet down. Okay, we'll come down onto our backs now. So support yourself, maybe around the shins or behind your thighs. And then just ease your way down to your back. From there, walk the heels in. Keeping the feet hip width or slightly wider if your back is sensitive. Maybe you take the feet a little bit wider. And then arms down by your side, palms facing down. On the next inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips. Coming up for your bridge pose. So as always, make sure the knees don't drift. The toes want to turn out here, don't they? Don't let them. If anything, the heels are slightly pointing out. So a little bit pigeon-toed. And then lift the hips. Reach forward through the knees. If you want to here, you can interlace the fingers beneath you. You can walk the shoulder blades in and then really push the triceps down and lift the chest. Another nice variation here, if you can, is you can bring the hands to the low back and you can support your low back and do that version of a bridge. It's quite intense, so again, you might not be there yet. Don't worry, wherever you are, be content. Keep lifting the hips, whichever version we're in. Remember, armpit chest lifts as well in our bridge. Just taking another breath. And then release, come down slowly, 1 millimeter at a time. And then once you've come all the way down, just give yourself a moment for the low back to settle down, for your pelvis to settle down. And just observe any sensation that you have. Okay, and I'm going to come into shoulder stand. So, if you don't like doing shoulder stand, if you've got neck problems, as always, then you can skip it. You can come to a Viparita Karani where we just have the legs up and you can support yourself under your low back there with your hands, and that's quite nice. So stay with that if you want to. Otherwise, arms down by your side, palms facing down. Inhale, press into the hands and lift. And then the hands come to the low back. We keep the chin away from the chest so that we're not directly on the back of the neck. And then maybe you walk your elbows in a little bit closer together. And then if it's still feeling good, you work towards bringing your ankles, hips and shoulders all in a straight line. But you make sure that you keep your chin away from your chest so you're not leaning directly onto the back of the neck. And then you really lift up through the front of the body. And I know that a lot of you have heard me say this before, but I actually think shoulder stand's harder than headstand. Especially if you come into this full upright position, because you've got to really engage the core here to keep lifting up the front of the body. Otherwise we collapse with everything. I was saying with everything else, we collapse. We don't want to collapse, keep lifting. Reaching up through the toes, keeping the chin away from the chest. Armpit chest lifts as well. And then inhale. As we exhale from here, slowly allowing the feet to make their way down towards the floor above your head. So if some people find this pose really challenging, and if that is you, don't force it, just come as close to that as you can. Eventually the toes come down, and then you might walk the shoulder blades in a little bit more. You can keep the hands at the low back, or you reach the arms away, interlace the fingers, and then push the triceps down. You're still lifting up the front of the body though. And you're still keeping the chin away from the chest. Cloud pose, Halasana. Just letting your breath be even, in and out through the nose. And then to come out of our Halasana, we bring the hands to the low back, bend the knees deeply, and then with control, roll all the way back down. And then we'll come into fish variation because it's really nice to bend the upper back in the opposite direction. So come onto your elbows and then lift the chest. Just taking the head back if it's okay with your neck. And then that should feel really nice, hopefully. Keep lifting the chest. Take another breath and then release. Just make your way all the way down onto your back and bring the knees back into the chest. Just giving yourself a little squeeze again, a little bit of a back massage. Maybe side to side with the knees, maybe circles. And then just coming to static, wrapping the forearms around the shins and then coming up into a tiny ball. Keep the shoulders relaxed there. Really squeeze. Try to engage everything there as you really, really squeeze. Big inhale and then exhale, release. Find your way to Savasana. Arms out by your side, legs nice and wide. Maybe you adjust the shoulder blades, bring them closer in, widen across your collarbones. And then relax. Well done. Draw your awareness back in. Soften your abdomen. Relax your facial muscles. And then just let go. Completely. Just for a few moments. And now, just slowly beginning to bring your awareness back. And gently move fingers and toes. Taking a nice long inhale, having a stretch. So arms up overhead, maybe interlace fingers, have a full body stretch. You could bend up your knees, bring them into your chest, give yourself a hug, take a twist. So any move or stretch that feels nice. And then when you're ready, making your way to your right hand side. And then back up to seated. Still talking to me, I hope. Back up to seated, any seated position, cross legs or not, and then just bring the hands together. Relax your shoulders. Soften your facial muscles. And just observing the whole of your body as sensation. Taking a nice long inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Namaste. Thank you. Well done. Happy Tuesday. Hope we enjoyed. And like I say, there aren't. This one will be going on YouTube as well. So give me a shout if you've missed or have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Pleasure. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.